I know that at Thanksgiving time in my house, when the time comes to carve that turkey, nobody wants to do it. Whether you have a chicken or a turkey, this is the easiest, most foolproof method we know to carve. We're gonna start by taking the legs off, working with one side. So you're gonna wanna just separate the breast from the leg right where they meet, carving down through that skin. At a certain point, when you get down in there, you are definitely gonna hit a bone. And this thigh joint, once I feel any kind of resistance down there, I'm gonna stop, put the knife down, and just pull that leg up off the bird. Here, this is where we have the oyster, that sort of mythical little nubbin of meat that everybody talks about. And this is another time that I am gonna use my knife just to get a nice clean separation. It's kind of hard to see when it's cooked, but right here, there's sort of this little membrane here. Put your knife right through that. You won't feel any resistance, right? Now for the breasts. There's this center bone called the heel bone that goes right down the center there. And you wanna just kind of go right to the side of that. In theory, you'd kind of wanna not leave any meat at all on the carcass, but the fact is you're gonna leave a little bit behind, and that's good stuff to just kind of, pick off using your fingers, or even use the carcass for a little bit of stock or something like that. And when it comes to carving the turkey, it's just a bigger, burlier version of this. With a turkey, it's like even more important to kind of get your hands involved. You have like that joint that you've just separated. Now the wing is attached to the top of the breast, and we're gonna carve all the way down the length of the breast here, kind of until I feel a good bit of resistance. And it's at that point, I'm gonna kind of use my fingers to kind of pull the breast away from the carcass. When you're trying to get around those rib bones, starting from the back end, the sort of like cavity end, if you will, kind of makes a little bit of a difference there. Working away from back to forward, or at least like kind of in one direction, helps just kind of get around those bones and then get that breast out of its own way. And I'm maintaining pressure on the breast to kind of separate it so I can get the tip of the knife in down there. And now here, once you get to this stage, you've carved around the wishbone, off of the ribs. Here, again, we're gonna have that little wing joint, and even honestly for me, I've broken down probably hundreds of chickens, this is the spot that's like my demon spot. It's like, this is where you're kind of like more likely than not, at least for me, to sort of run into a little bit of resistance that you kind of can't really feel your way around. There we go. Sometimes if you just sort of pull things open a little bit, it kind of gets you the rest of the way there. At this point, I usually will carve the chicken breast in half. That way everybody can kind of have like a little bit of each kind of meat. So if you want 10 pieces, taking off the wing is the way to get there. And to do that, the joint kind of goes in a little bit further. So this is that top of the joint that we had to separate from the carcass right here. So we're just carving around that joint. So by carving in and around that tip, pull it away, it kind of comes away pretty nicely. So here it is, low stress roast chicken carving. So easy that next time you might even volunteer to do it yourself.